results versus results. So, at the moment, I am training someone from my family. And as a general rule, I don't train family. And the reason is very simple. Because there is a lack of skin in the game. There is a lack of respect. There is a lack of, I'll do what you say kind of thing. Because, well, it's too familiar. It's too easy to be like, well, just fuck off with that. Like, I'm not going to listen to you, And especially when we're talking like parents or siblings or things like this, that people don't really want to listen because, well, it's too familiar. You don't have that same relationship of, well, I'll do the work because I'll do the work. But I have made an exception to the rule, and I'm training my father because, well, he wants to make a change. And I'm not going to lie, his ego has come into it a little bit, and if you know me, you know that I also have a bit of an ego, and so it's no wonder that I've gotten that from my father. But because basically it came up about chasing greatness daily. And he was like, oh, well, I could do that. And I was like, no, you couldn't do that. And he's like, I could absolutely fucking do that. And I was like, no, you're gonna die. Like, there is zero chance that you have enough follow through and commitment and fortitude to do this kind of work. It's just not happening. And he's like, fine, I'll do it. So here we are. He's doing it. And to his credit, he is kinda doing it. He's done enough that he's getting results, which is fantastic, which is the whole point, which is, he's my father. I don't want to see him head to an early grave, which, in my honest opinion, was where we were heading with the life choices he was making, kind of thing. He was rapidly heading towards an early grave. So he's made a change, and I was like, this is fantastic. But this is the difference, and to be honest, again, coming back to my first statement, why I don't train family, between people who do the work, who tick a box, who are like, yay me, did the things, versus the people who have skin in the game, versus people who are committed, they are all in, and they are here to get fucking results. My father is a ticking the box type of man. As I said, he's getting results. He's down 5 kilos in about 2 weeks. Fucking fantastic. Results are coming in. But he's just doing enough to get results. He's not making a life-changing commitment. He is not following through and doing the things to the 9th degree. Like, all of the things in Chasing Greatness Daily are designed specifically to achieve something. They aren't just random. They aren't just, tossing it out there because I think it's funny. It's designed specifically to achieve something. Every aspect, from the photo that's done daily, from the water 4 liters a day, to ticking the boxes, to doing the check-ins with myself in the app that we have. There is a reason why all of it is designed the way it is, because it ticks a box. It provides a very specific thing, but you can either do it to its maximum capacity, or you could just show up to tick the box to say you did it. And as I said, my father falls into the latter category. So yeah, he's getting results, but he's leaving so much on the table. He's leaving so much of the results on the table that are possible, that are plausible, that he could be achieving if he went all in. And I think this is the difference for a lot of people when they undertake these types of programs, especially when we're talking health and fitness. When we're talking about changing your life, when we're talking about changing the structure of your life and how you show up to it, a lot of people show up to tick the box. And I see this all the time with exercise. They're like, I hate this, this is boring, this is all this kind of stuff. It's why the majority of times people pay people, because it creates skin in the game. I know, especially for my gym, a lot of the time, the reason why people are there, why they are paying me to be there, is to make sure that they actually fucking do the work, to make sure that they actually show up and do what is required, that I push them, that I make them go further than they would on their own, that I am getting the most out of them. And even then, people with skin in the game who are paying me, let's be real here, large amounts of money to make sure that they get the results, there are still plenty of them who are just there to tick the box. They're not doing badly, they're getting results, they're happy, but they could be delivering so much more. They could be getting so much more out of it. But that's not who they are. That's not where they're at. That's not what they want to do. And I think this is the difference. This is why we talk about skin in the game. It's why I think you need to have some skin in the game. Like, it's also why I charge a lot of money for my services, because I want you bought in. I want you doing the work. I want you willing to sacrifice and give up the things that aren't going to progress you forward. It is why my highest paying clients get the best results. Not because they're the highest paying clients, but because they've put more on the line. They've gone, my results are worth this much to me. Therefore, I'm all in. Therefore, I'm getting in. It's why I'm never going to be the cheapest. It's why I'm never going to be the one who's going to be the cheapest out there. And I'm happy to state that. I'm happy to put that out there, because you get what you pay for. You know, it's why lots of people have 24/7 gym memberships and never fucking go. It's why lots of people have subscriptions to apps and never use them, because you don't have enough skin in the game. You don't have someone to hold you accountable. You don't have someone to push you. You have to put up essentially enough that it hurts a bit, enough that it makes you fucking uncomfortable, that you go, well, that hurt enough and made me uncomfortable enough that I'm going to do the work. And now what that number might vary from person to person, you know, and it's going to vary from your circumstances, but it needs to hurt enough that you are going to take it seriously, that you're going to show up and do what is required, because that's what separates. That's what makes the difference. It's why, you know, most of my job is accountability. It's why you're paying what you're paying for, is to make sure that I hold you to the standard, and more so in Chasing Greatness Daily than any other areas, because this is, well, this is where there's no gentle, there's no soft, there's no, oh, that's okay, buttercup. You had a bad day. That's all right. Try again tomorrow. No, you set the fucking standard at the start. When you join Chasing Greatness Daily, I am not, you know, sugarcoating it. I am laying it all out there. You know exactly what you're getting in for. You know exactly where you are before I take your money, and we are fucking serious about it. And so when you have those off days, when you don't feel like it, I'm going to remind you of the standards you set. I'm going to remind you of why you fucking started. And I'm going to remind you that you made this commitment. So we are getting this shit done. It's why you need to put some skin in the game. It's why it needs to be uncomfortable. It's why it needs to be so much that you're willing to do whatever it fucking takes. And this is true across all things that I've seen. The more you put up, the more you put into it, the more uncomfortable it makes you to put up whatever it is, money, time, effort. The more uncomfortable it makes you to do that, the more likely you are to succeed. Because you've put so much in, you've invested so much, you have to succeed now. It's why the people, if you're talking like entrepreneurs and all this kind of stuff, who put it all on the line, succeed, because, well, there's no other way out. They have no other choice at this point. They either succeed or they lose everything. Now, I'm not suggesting that be the answer, but I'm just saying that when you get uncomfortable and you put it all on the line, well, shit. Now you're more likely to follow through. Now you're more likely to make the tough decisions. Now you're more likely to do what is required. And that's when you also get life-changing results. And as I said at the start, this is why I don't like doing it for family, because there's not that same level of skin in the game. There's not the same level of held accountable to the standard. And it's not going to deliver the same results. That you need to tap into why you need to make this change. You need to tap into that big, scary fucking reason of what will happen if you don't do it. You need to tap into the opportunity cost that you will miss out on if you don't do this. What will it cost you in terms of future possibilities by not making this commitment now? By not showing up and doing what is fucking required now? What will you lose down the track? These are the things you need to be aware of. These are the things you need to know about, because it's so much more than you think it is. And there are going to be days where it's going to suck. This is going to be hard, where you don't want a bar of this. You know, your body hurts, or you're tired, or life got busy. And we've spoken about these all the times. If you don't have a big enough why or enough skin in the game, you are not going to follow through. It'll be too easy to pike out. As I said, it's why people have apps on their phones. They have gym memberships they've never used. They have all this kind of stuff because it doesn't hurt enough not to do it. It doesn't hurt enough to say, well, I don't feel like it today. And you see it all the time. And to be honest, it's why a lot of those things are actually priced that way, is because they know that, well, you'll just keep ignoring it. Even if you don't use it, the effort to deal with it is too great to actually bother about it. Or the price is too low to warrant any concern about it. You know, I worked in A Plus Fitness for a little while, really early on in my career. We're talking over a decade ago. And there was over 350 people who had either never stepped foot in the gym after signing up or had been less than 3 times in 6 months. 350 people who were paying $15 a week for nothing. Because it didn't hurt. They didn't have enough skin in the game. And by design, which I always hated about it, is why I fucking quit that job and went and opened up my own gym, was that the process to cancel your membership was so arduous that most people would delay doing it. They'd put off doing it because the cost of actually going to deal with it was greater than the cost that they were feeling, the pain that they were feeling weekly. And this is the problem with that. It's the same as everything. It's like why you need to build discipline, and you have to have skin in the game, and you have to build your why to make a long-term change. It's why long-term health changes are actually really fucking difficult, because it's multifaceted. It's not just, hey, I want to change, or I'm going to do this, and then you just do it. But most of the time, you have to have such a great pain that you're willing to push, basically, the boulder up the hill. That you're willing to start that momentum, because it's fucking hard when you're starting from zero to build that momentum. But the pain has to be so great that you're like, I cannot fathom continuing on like this, therefore I'm going to make a change. You have to reach that point. It's why most people don't make a change truly until they reach rock bottom. But the catch with that is, once you get out of the pain, then you go, well, I'll just go back to normal now. I'm not in that much pain. And you feel like the cost of the exercise, the nutrition, whatever the fuck it might be, is greater now than the pain you are currently in. So most people stop. It's why most people yo-yo. Because once they've dealt with the severe pain, They go, oh, well, I'm not sure it's worth doing this anymore. I'm not sure that I'm willing to keep sacrificing these things. And especially if you get really good results really quickly. And this is a danger that I have found with my program because it delivers great fucking results, as I was talking about with my father. 5 kilos in 2 weeks. He's almost reached his goal in probably by the end of a month, he will have reached his goal. So I can see him already being like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to continue after that. I've done my thing. I've done my dash. And it creates this false illusion in your head that, well, that's all that's required. You do your dash. If it gets bad enough again, he'll jump on for a month, he'll sacrifice real hard, and then he's back to where he needs to be. Instead of going, well, here's this pain. I don't want to experience this pain ever again. So I'm actually going to make a proper long-term change. Then you build the discipline and you stack on top of that. But you have to begin with also investing in that. You need to put some skin in the fucking game to build the discipline and be like, well, not only did I invest time, I invested effort, I invested money, and I invested potentially reputation. And that reputation can just be between you and you. It can be between you and your wife, or your partner, or a best friend, or someone else. But you need to attach all these things because it is multifaceted. You will get out of the pain. Now you need to, and the motivation is gone. Now you need to have discipline to replace it. You need to have invested time and money into it to keep holding you accountable. You need to have someone else there that you said you were going to fucking do this to hold you accountable, aka me. You need to have all these things so that you don't just do a dash and then you return back to who you were. Because that is the biggest waste of time and effort and money to do this hard work and then go back. And each time you do that, you actually make it harder on yourself. Each time you do that, you create this false sense of dichotomy that you can just quick fix this. We are trying to change for life. We are trying to make you the greatest version of yourself. Yes, I am going to deliver absolutely mind-boggling, incredible fucking results in a really short period of time. But you then also need to maintain it. And I hate to break it to you, but maintenance is 1,000 times harder than getting results. Because it requires a different mindset. It requires a different person to show the fuck up, to be like, I am continuing to do this because I want to continue to enjoy the benefits of these results. Because yeah, I can deliver those great results. I have one guy at the moment who is probably going to crack 20 kilos in the 6 weeks. 20 fucking kilos lost in 6 weeks. That's a different man. That is losing the equivalent of a toddler. Well, actually, not even a toddler, a small child in 6 weeks. Talk about great fucking results. But we then need to then continue that on. And having spoken to this guy, that's not going to be an issue. He has gone all in. He has realized where the problem was. And he is now adjusted and he's becoming the man who's going to continue to do the work, who's going to continue to get the results that he wants and desires. He's going to maintain this long term. He's becoming a different man. But it's because we tackled the different facets. We got skin in the game. He built the discipline. He got out of pain. He has a why. He has motivation. We are ticking all these boxes that actually matter. And that's where you get results. And that's how you make a life-changing, results. Because it's not just about showing up. It's not just about losing weight. It's about losing weight to become the best version of yourself. It's about building the body. It's about building the fitness. It's about building the discipline. It's about building the grit, the fortitude, the mental toughness. It's about becoming the best fucking version of yourself humanly possible. There are results and then there are results. But you have to invest in you. You have to go into this going, I am going to change. I am not going to revert back to who I was. And what level of change might vary. Look, I recommend that you go from chasing greatness into 126 to greatness, and we follow the plan and you follow that up. But at bare minimum, just don't go fucking back to who you were. Do not invest time, money, and effort into something to go back to where you were and wonder why you continually end up in the same place. It's the definition of fucking insanity. But you need to have skin in the game. You need to have invested in you. You need to have done the work so that you can be the best version of yourself. We are chasing greatness here, guys. We are becoming the best version of ourselves. That's the game that we are playing. And it's a different game. And it requires a paradigm shift. It requires you thinking about this differently. It requires you considering not just 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months, a year. It requires you considering who you want to be, the type of man that you want to be, the type of life that you want to lead. Because it all starts here. It all starts with the discipline. It starts with the motivation. And it starts with getting fucking skin in the game to become the greatest version of yourself. So if you're ready for that, if you're ready to actually step the fuck up and invest in yourself and become the greatest version of you, shoot me a message. Let's get you into Chasing Greatness Daily. Let's start the process and see who you can become on the other side when you've got some skin in the game and you're willing to do what is required. If you're not quite there yet, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if you enjoyed it, if you know somebody else who needs to hear this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. But most importantly, please hit that subscribe button, because the majority of people who are watching this are not subscribed. And it helps me, it helps you, it helps the algorithm, it helps everyone know that this is something that matters to you, that you are willing to invest into your greatness, you're willing to do what is required. So hit that subscribe button, because like Chasing Greatness Daily, I am here every single day, sharing from the front, sharing my experiences, and sharing the experiences of my guys as they go through this. And I want to continue helping you, and I want to continue making sure that you get exactly what you need. So hit that subscribe button, because I'll be back again tomorrow, and I hope to see you then.